Naomi, hold on. You're running 7th, Gareth. Well done.
Hello, so welcome. Episode 36 of Cookies Rambles, and we're out on a Sunday walk with Bessie. Naomi's gone swimming, so I've decided to bring Bessie down to Silkstone Wagon where she's not been out for well, she went to my parents yesterday, but she's not been out today, so I thought I'd bring her down. She's got a GoPro on her back, so I can snap a different angle, and I might get some through Bessie's ears as well whilst we're walking today. Yeah, so 3 weeks out from Berlin, into crunch time, and this is what has been peak week. So yeah, you might be thinking, what's peak week mean? So peak week is the highest mileage training week, where you get like the best out of your training, in your opinion. So individual peak weeks might differ. For me, it's my highest mileage training week. For us, it might be the fastest training week. It might be the most elevation. It might be their biggest bit of the block. So the top of your cycle, before you start coming back down again. So yeah, peak week is the peak, like the top of your cycle, before you start coming back down. For me, it's highest mileage. Others, it might be fastest, or it might be most intense, or longest amount of effort, or most amount of effort, or something like that. So yeah, that's what peak week means to me. You can sprinkle quality in there as much as you want, but for me it's the highest amount of mileage for my peak week. Like my highest mileage week of the block, and I've not so much done my fastest week of the block, but it's been my highest mileage and the most time on my feet as well. Got all that aerobic base in during like my pre-marathon build that came in like May, June, July, and then into August. I've started to hit what I call peak week. So I had some nuts, by the way, before I came out, so onto dry roasted and honey roasted nuts at the minute. So if I start coughing, it's because I've got a nut stuck in my throat. So yeah, peak week, I've done 109.25 miles this week. It's far from peak weeks of the past, where I've done 170 mile weeks or 130 mile weeks and all that sort of stuff. But I've smartened up my training, and changed up what I do in terms of marathon training. So yeah, kicked off Monday, 17 mile Monday, which is slightly under what I've done in previous Mondays of this marathon block. Did 12 in the morning. It was Kai's birthday Monday, so 12 in the morning, ended up running with him and Ruby, and then in the evening we went to the Royal pub with Bart Green, which is like a tapas, which you just bring food out when you're ready, which yeah, were quite good. Enjoyed it. But I did 5 mile banked just before we went for the tapas, so got my mileage in for the Monday, and felt quite good, to be honest. Ate a lot, and then woke up Tuesday feeling very, very full, and then into Tuesday, so further into peak week. Legs have recovered from mid Cheshire 5k and the big weekend like over at Liverpool and stuff. So into Tuesday, and I had the Worsborough relays, which is a club thing we do. So you put into a random team of 3 runners, and you just run what you run. So 1.5 mile loop of Worsborough Reservoir. I ran 6 mile in the morning, by the way. So what I wanted to do is tire my legs out before actually doing the 1.5 mile relay. So I did Birdie's session, which were a 15-minute like tempo effort. So we jogged 15 minutes up the trail, which we did 16 to count for the fact we're going to be coming back down, and then did 15 minutes of effort, which yeah, felt quite good at effort and quite controlled, quite smooth. Scott stupidly ran 20 mile on Monday without doing any training, so because he'd done that, he were absolutely towing when it came to doing the session on Tuesday and doing the relays. He did get up and plan on running a marathon as well, but yeah, that's just daft, Scott. But yeah, it can be like that. So what I left him a little bit going down the relay, down towards the relay again on my 15-minute effort, and then he ripped me a new one when it came to actually racing the 1.5 mile loop around Worsby Res. And then what I did, so yeah, so the 1.5 mile loop, I ended up finishing, I think I was 4th in my leg. So set off, there were me, Scott, Kai, Birdie and Sean Burke, and I was 4th out of the 5 of us. Gary jumped on a different leg to us, he were in a different team as well. So I ran about 7:54 for the 1.5 mile. It's all on like a gravel dirt track and it's got quite a few turns, but not making excuses. So yeah, paced it quite well, to be honest, and I ran quicker than what I did this time last year on the same course, so there's got to be some sort of positive in that. And then did a bit of a cool down after as well and got some more miles, so just did 2 laps of the res to finish off. So clocked 16 mile on Tuesday's session. And then Wednesday woke up, went out in the morning with Kai, did 8 mile with Kai did some, and then I finished off and did 8. And then in the evening met Birdie and ended up running off road with Birdie, which was quite enjoyable, to be honest. Went round some of the like fields and trails and stuff near us. Called it a fell run, but it was nowhere near as such, because it was very, very flat. So yeah, that was Wednesday, so 16 mile banked for Wednesday's distance. And then into Thursday. So Thursday I wanted to, because I only did like a bit of a short session on Tuesday, Thursday wanted to do another session. So woke up in the morning, did 8 mile in the morning on Thursday. Was conscious that I'd run like 16 mile as well every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 16 mile in the morning on 15 mile in total on Thursday. But I ended up running 8 in the morning and then 7 in the evening. But what I did is I went up to the new roundabout, which is near us, that everyone hated, that everyone now loves, and ran 5 like progressive reps around the roundabout, which was quite good, to be honest, quite controlled with them to keep them progressive. And yeah, ended up banking, I think they're about 500 meters long, so I think I got down to 4:40 or 4:20 minute mile for one of the reps or something like that, which were quite good for me anyway, because I ain't got fast legs. Just pulling Bessie away from some dog poo. And then Friday, stuck to my promise to myself, just ran the once on the Friday. So felt, yeah, good on that as well. Like, I need to keep it at just once to allow my legs to recover, and that's a part of me training a little bit smarter. Did feel tired, and I called it shaky achy run with Kai on Friday, because I was, but I still ended up getting out and doing 10, because yeah, I can only be too sensible, can't I? And then a plan. This weekend Naomi were doing a 10 mile TT race on the bike up in Newcastle, so I finished work and then we drove up to Newcastle and did the 10 mile TT race on Saturday morning. We got up there quite early, well, early for us, it was about 6 o'clock, but Naomi wanted to wreck it the bike route, so we parked at the bit that we thought was the start line, and I said just turn round in 5 miles, because that'd be a roundabout where you bike into, and yeah, it ended up being 8 mile before she had to turn around. So we figured out we parked at the wrong spot, the wrong start line, and extended the route by about 3 mile. So 8 mile double 8 is 16. Obviously a little bit too much for a 10 mile bike ride, 10 mile bike recce, but yeah, she ended up doing it on Saturday morning anyway. It was 6:56 start, so it was an early bedtime Friday night, and we ended up getting up at 5 AM. I ran 6 mile to watch Naomi on the bike. Come on Bess, we'll go back. 6 mile watching Naomi on the bike and spectating and all that sort of stuff, which was quite good. Got some miles in my legs. So just jogging through. Naomi's doing a time trial race today, so we're up in Newcastle. Just jogging through to the start. It's about 6:30 in the morning. A little bit too early for this. I'm not an early riser, mate. Much prefer me 7:30 runs, and making it a little bit later in the day. So stood at the side of a very, very busy dual carriageway, and this is where Naomi's racing up and down. It is a national time trial, like a national race. You would expect it to be road closures, but it's not, because cyclists are just nutters, aren't they? So yeah, open roads, and it's really fast. And that's it, she's gone past. It's like watching Formula 1. Wait all this time and they're gone in a split second, but right, on my way back to the start, and then we're going to go and do a park run in Newcastle, Jesmond Dean, which is about 20 minutes from here. So yeah, off on my way back. And on my way back is, if you want a new fridge freezer or a washing machine or a microwave, I found one for you, look. Must be at Scrapman. But most importantly, Naomi PB'd, so fastest 10-mile race she's ever done. Like, the standard is class. It were a national TT thing as well, but she got about in the 25-minute category for the first time, and it were about a 2-minute PB for her. Bessie's just wanting to go down the water, ain't got a choice in this. So yeah, 2-minute PB for her, which were really good, and I'm sure she'd want to do it again, the nationals next year as well. We've just got, this is the dog that doesn't like water, by the way. She wants to go down to the water, but I'm not going down there. Come on, Bess, this way. So yeah, that were good, enjoyable weekend. And then after, we went through to Jesmond Dean parkrun in Newcastle. So yeah, we're obsessed with the alphabet at the minute. We're collecting as J, so we got a J bagged, Jesmond Dean, and it were in a proper gorgeous park. Like, it were like a bit of a 2-lapper, but you never really felt like you were doing 2 laps. And there were a bit where it said, look left, I mean look left now, and you looked left and there were a waterfall like in the middle of the park that was man-made in the 1800s, but yeah, it looked quite cool. And then I went down to it after the parkrun, and did like, went and looked at the old watermill and stuff like that. And then we dropped on a street food festival that, yeah, I've already clipped to in this video. But yeah, we dropped on a street food festival, and Naomi got some street food, and I got some street food. So yeah, we had a busy day. Then after, we went on the way back, we went back to the travel lodge. Then on the way back, called at Knaresborough and dropped to another street food festival, but we managed to resist the temptation this time. And then, yeah, really good. But Jesmond Dean, if you're up in Newcastle ever, on the first Saturday of the month and the third Saturday, they do a street food festival on the bridge. So yeah, definitely recommend that if you like your food as well, and running. And then on to Sunday, we got back from Newcastle about 5-6 o'clock Saturday night. On to Sunday, plan was Leeds Liverpool Canal up in Leeds, not driving to Liverpool then. and did 20 mile. So 15 mile majority with Birdie and Sean. Did some miles with Kai as well, and then Ruby and Naomi came along as well. Ran about 7-minute mile pace for 20 miles. So the lads will say that I dictated the pace. I was running at the front, but I definitely felt some pressure from the back. So yeah, 20 mile, nice and easy, banked on the canal. It's definitely pancake flat, and the only climb you do is up and over the locks when you're going through the canal. And the old canal network, well, it's not old, still an existing canal network that they've got in Leeds. It's not like Barnsley's one that's dilapidated over the years. Yeah, so that's peak week. Peak week done, 109.2 miles. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and started like prepping a little bit more now for the marathon. So I bought all my gels, made sure they weren't out of stock, and then I've also ordered some gels to pick up in Berlin, because they do like a special Berlin pack as well. So I've done that just in case. It's €25 as well, so it's a bit of a crime not to, because yeah, it covers me for the full marathon then. So I do use Morton energy gels, something that I've found sits well on my stomach in comparison to like the i5 or the SIS stuff as well, and I like them as well because they're a little bit thicker than usual gels. So they actually taste like you're eating something rather than drinking something. And then I have been looking online as well for shoes, and I've been doing it for like last couple of months, and it's getting towards crunch time now. So I've been looking at the Alpha Fly V1s, and I can't find any for cheap in a size 10, or can't find any full stop in a size 10 for the Alpha V1s. I do prefer the Alpha V1s to the V2s, but I might have to gamble and buy a fresh pair of Alpha V2s if I can't get hold of some V1s in the meantime. I do like wearing new shoes for the marathon, and I'll go against all marathon reviews and YouTubers telling you to get them and try them on beforehand. I like wearing a brand new pair. So when I did my 225, it was a brand new pair of shoes that I first put on that day, and that's just what I like doing, because I like the comfort of new shoes and that novelty as well. And I also do it with new socks and new pants. So yeah, it's just a little thing that I like to do. They do tell you to buy it and wear it beforehand, because you don't know where it's going to rub in places, or it might blister or chafe. But yeah, it's just a gamble that I'd like to take, and it's a creature comfort of mine. So yeah, start doing that sort of stuff. Naomi stupidly entered a competition on Instagram and ended up winning a place to an ultra marathon for next year, and with that she's also won a Chorus watch and some running shoes. So yeah, she's done herself well there, but she's also done herself out because she actually has to run the ultra marathon. So yeah, we'll see how that goes next year. But yeah, other than that, peak week done. Probably the most important week of training. Everything is downhill from here, so cutting back the mileage a little bit, and then 10 days out from the marathon is when my proper taper will start. So yeah, we'll really be reducing the mileage coming up. So next week I've got Spencer's Dash on Thursday, so the local trail, road, everything race series that comes around where Silkston Wagonway actually. I've got that on Thursday, so looking quite forward to that. Got a session Tuesday with lads, and then also might be going to York on Saturday, so might go up and do York parkrun Saturday morning. So yeah, that'll be a faster week with some shorter stuff thrown in, but quite looking forward to that, and socialising. So yeah, that's probably the most important part of running and training, and that's some stuff you get out of it as well, creating that team around you that I bang on about all the time. So yeah, enjoying it. 3 weeks out from Berlin, getting towards crunch time, and cheers for listening this week, and I'll see you on the other side.